Greetings Rommies and welcome to RomRom, the channel sharing the joy of sim racing. Today we are in Cleveland and today I am alone as Cody is not able to make it cause he spent the last 12 hours or at least parts of it doing stints in a 12 hours of Bathurst. Ike is hopefully becoming champion in his own racing series, so you are stuck with me. We are in Cleveland, which is not used anymore for racing. As far as I remember, it was never used for modern Indycar, as I think it was used until 2006. What is Van Leuven doing there? But this promises to be a very interesting race, as this track is quite difficult. The first difficulty that you have is finding your way. As you're gonna be seeing from this onboard or from other onboards, you really have to learn where is the space you have to go, because well, this was in its day a track that was put in a working airport. Like, they closed the airport for a weekend and then they just put some signals so that the drivers knew kinda where to drive and where not to drive. That means that while it's quite broad, you can see that overtaking here is gonna be easy. It's difficult to find your way, and there is a lot of paint on the tarmac. We've gone to qualifying now after practice. Let's see how well the drivers will be doing here at Cleveland. A question to the stream, to the chat. Is the sound okay? While we are on the one side watching the qualifying, on the other side waiting for it to bring results, these are the actual results of the team and driver settings. So we have Vladislav Zenkov, who keeps the first place, Lee Russell, who moved into second after last week's race, Henk-Jan Stenekar, who moved down to third, Miguel Ramos, Jakub Kowalski, who had a lot of problems in the last race in Milwaukee, and Ricardo Almeida, who also did not make the best of positions. With regards to the teams, Kowalski Motorsports still keeps the first place. KMO Racing, I think, moves to second. Zenkov Racing moves to third. We expect I expect to see some issues here, because on the different practices, including the one we just saw, on the different practices this week, there were a couple of corners where the drivers had some issues. I'm trying to find an image so that I can show you why. Give me a second. So you can see this is the Cleveland track. As you can see, shortly after the start and end line, there is a long curve, the curve that never stops, which starts with something like a 45-degree curve and then ends up becoming a 180. This was on its day in real life a very difficult curve, and this is also a very difficult curve, but where we've seen the most issues has been, whoa, and there we see Zenkov heating his tires in a not good way. Where we've seen the most issues by the drivers during practice has been, if you see that line showing where the start of sector 2 starts, that curve, because they go quite fast but then lose control or go too wide to the right. That curve, or the outcoming of that curve, is what makes it difficult. And then the second curve combination after that, after the straight, the drivers seem to be a little bit too optimistic and end up getting out of one of those corners because, well, they are too fast into it, or they don't brake strong enough after the straight. This is shortly before the start and end straight. Now comes the first corner, which is also the pit exit. This is gonna be a difficult situation. You see, you go on the 45, then you have to continue with a curve. It's not an easy place to be, and it can hurt a lot. Oh, as it did here for some reason. Zenkov is joining his buddy or something. Get a room, you two. As you can see, this track, while it's very broad, so we may be seeing some overtaking action here, it's quite technical, and Miguel Ramos goes out. It's quite technical, so you have to prepare your overtakes quite well, and you have to take a good look at where you're going and what you're doing. Also, in real life, it was more difficult because of all the paint on the tarmac, and it also, in real life, it was very bumpy. This mod does not reflect the paint that much, and the bumpiness. Tested very shortly. I didn't have much time this week. So it's not as bumpy as in real life, but in real life many of the drivers were protesting that well, it was difficult to keep the car straight because this is not a racing track. this was this was an airport, and whoa, see, I think we're gonna be seeing a lot of this during the race, because while it's a technical track, it invites itself, also because it's so broad, to be faster, to drive faster than you would normally. And yeah, you will see that. The Cleveland track has more a history of being a kart or champ car track, which up to a point are the precursors of modern Indycar. So it's interesting to see these modern IR18 driving there, because, well, who knows what would have become if they would have been driving in Cleveland. As far as I know, there are no races done in this airport anymore, although there've been some official tries to get some series in there, but it seems that Cleveland is gonna be forever a part of racing history and not anymore a track that can be driven in real life. But the magic of sim racing is we can drive anywhere with anything, for better or for worse. Less than 10 minutes until the end of qualifying, and we have Ricardo Almeida with the fastest time, Lee Russell with the second fastest, and Mikel Ramos on the third fastest. These, of course, can change anytime. We have still almost 9 minutes on qualifying. Curbs quite hard. look at that on sector 2. Ouch! He was doing such a great, so I jinxed it. He was doing such a great lap because on sector 2 he did the very best lap. Better luck next time. Vamos, or let's see what Ricardo Almeida is doing. Hot lap. Oh. So he wasn't on a good lap but decided to go into pits. Oh. 100 slower. Ooh, driver there. See, that's what happens a lot. You go too optimistic into the corner and, well, that's what you encounter. That, I think, must have been the corner at the start of sector 3. That's a difficult one. This is something that we've seen in Cleveland a lot. Drivers going too optimistic into the parts of the track. And, well, getting issues because of that. Getting a little bit outside and then losing control, oversteer, and that's it for your corner. If that happens during the race, that's it for your race maybe, so... Hey Marty! Welcome to the stream! Promises to be an interesting race. Cleveland is a very interesting track and it's not easy to drive. The one quite short test that I was able to do this week, I spent most of the time trying to remember where the track was. Or I'm going to show you a little bit the onboard. I have to remember, oh wait, no, I have to take this corner here or so. So these cones there, I got to know them quite well. Less than 5 minutes. Ooh. Less than 5 minutes until the end of qualifying. Great MPX wheel? I know nothing about that company. do so. Surprising that so many years into sim racing, there are still companies I don't know about. 2 minutes until the end of qualifying. We have Ricardo Almeida on first position, Lee Russell on second, and Mikel Ramos, who we are watching, on third. I suppose he's trying to get a little bit of oversteer there. He's trying to get to one of the first or second positions, but nope, he stays on third. As the laps are a little bit over a minute here. A minute and change. Anything that starts during the last 30 seconds is gonna be the end of it. 2,500 US dollars for a wheel? Yikes. You can get almost a Simocube pedal for that money. Okay, Mikel Ramos thinks, no, I'm not gonna make it. And, ooh, ouch! Van Leuven kisses the wall hard, so that's the end of qualifying for him. What Henk-Jan Stenneker is doing doesn't seem to be a quite fast lap. Qualifying is ending, so anybody who has not started his lap will not be able to finish it. Whoa, somebody will not be finishing his lap in a good way. Thank you, Marty, for telling us. That's good to hear and good to know that you have good sound and good visuals. That's what we work for during the week, so to speak. Well, no. Luckily, after the issues at Indycar a couple of weeks ago, I think we got it right, and the sound, I'm getting more and more control of it now that I have a computer that just is there for streaming. But it's good to know and it's important to know, so thank you very much for letting me know. And let's see. Stenneker does a good time, but is not able to do a better time than he had. So we have Ricardo Almeida, Lee Russell, Mikel Ramos, Sander van Leuven, Henk-Jan Stenneker, Jakub Kowalski, Vladislav Zenko, Pablo Lopez Garcia, Dimitri Mlakar, and Yunyang Wang. I hope I pronounced that last good, because, well, don't hit me if I butchered the pronunciation. Right, warm up, which is gonna be a short. For those just joining the stream, we are in Cleveland, which is not a track that is raced anymore in any kind of series in the United States. This was a normally functioning airport that got closed for a weekend, and then Kart and Champ Car were racing on that. Modern Indycar never raced on Cleveland, so it's interesting that the ASRC chose that for their racing series. We're seeing something that never happened in real life, and that is modern IndyCar driving on Cleveland. Seems that the drivers don't have much interest in the warm-up. They are keeping to themselves, just seeing that all cables are in their place and no cable falls off in the middle of a race. We've had drivers having that issue, not these drivers, but in during one of our broadcasts, yeah, somebody had the issue. Yeah, somebody's been peeking. Yeah, Bathurst 83. What I like about Bathurst 83 in Automobilista 2 is it doesn't change the track, but when you're on the mountain, not seeing these big walls that that you have, it makes it somehow more scary. Like you're seeing what lies behind those protections on the track, and somehow it becomes more real. I don't know why. I mean, it's some psychological thing, but it's like, yikes. Somehow when it's so close, I don't know. Your brain may say, well, this is a cozy place. Nothing bad can happen here. Say that about the Bathurst Mountain. And if any of our viewers, now I'm saying it right, if any of our viewers are interested into getting into sim racing, on Wednesday we have something very interesting for you, because it took me 1 month working on it, but we have a video finished that will help you get a budget system and get into sim racing, which is a growing hobby, in spite of anything that you may have seen in the stats in the news today, in our news today. It's still growing. I think that discussion was a bullshit discussion trying to find clicks. So we have 6 minutes of warm-up yet. Yahoo! He saved that, but that's a difficult curve. That's that 45 curve at the end of the start and end line. That's gonna be surprising surprising a lot of us. Marty, which real live races are you going to go visiting? So you're in the US. Are you gonna which races and what series? Not only in the US, also in Europe it would be interesting. Although there's not many interesting series left in Europe. ETM faltered and is now ADAC. WTCR is dead. Road America is a great track. I love to drive Road America, also because of that. I don't remember how it is. You have that almost straight line, and then you get into the 90 degrees, and if you are like, if you have some parts of you that are made of steel, you flat out there, and it's fantastic. IMSA, if Cody would be here, he'd love to discuss IMSA with you, as he's a big IMSA fan. Alas, Cody is sleeping the sleep of the righteous after doing one or more stints in a Bathurst 12-hour endurance race. Thing is, I've become an Indy fan, so to speak, or at least follower, in the last years, like 3-4 years. Firstly, after informing myself a little bit about Indy, because I thought they were only doing ovals, and my bad. And second, because the races are great. That they drive all on the same chassis and just have the motors that are not that different to each other, as something different. It makes it very much a human sport, a human motorsport, because it's just the teams and the drivers. The team has to give the driver a well set up car, and the driver has to do something with that well set up car. Whoa! Yikes! I think it was Wang who just flew away there. As I said, we may be in for some very interesting errors when the drivers are on the track. Have 2 minutes still of warm-up, and we'll get on with the race, which is going to be at max 2 hours. Surprised us last week we hadn't looked well enough into the rules. None of these ASRC races are longer than 2 hours. At the 2 hour line, the race ends. Which makes IndyCar, Indy 500 quite interesting, because I don't know of any Indy 500 that gets on, that finishes on or under 2 hours, but that's another. Whoa, shoosh. Let's see how many of these issues we see. It's gonna be... Whew. As I said, interesting racing here. 1 minute until the end of warm-up. We have asked also the drivers if they have any issues. If they that they inform us via Discord or in the chat. And as I'm alone, this commentary today is going to be a little bit awkward, because at some points I have to look to check which camera, or see to it that I answer something in the chat, or do something technical. So at some points I may be silent, but I'm still there. Warm-up has finished. So we're gonna see the drivers in the qualifying positions quite soon on the track. Yes, R Factor 2 has Robert in FX over time. Also, some if the track is wet, you have a difference of grip. You can do what real live drivers do on a wet track, and that's avoid the Robert in places because they are not grippy. Interestingly enough, when it's wet, they are not grippy. So yes, it has Robert in FX. For a time it was said, and some still say that it's got the best tire physics of all the sims. I don't know. I'm not a developer. I just race and hope that they're all in pits if they're gonna be starting the race. So for some it said that the tire physics on R Factor 2 are the best. iRacing says the same, but somehow I get a better track feeling from R Factor 2 than from iRacing. And Automobilista 2 has done great steps towards the physics, but I think while they of course look at the tire physics, I think the tire physics are not as complex as those in R Factor 2, which only speaks about the complexity, not about the realism of it. But I think this is something that will and can be discussed until the day that is no more, because everybody feels it different. So I'm quite sim agnostic, so I don't care which sim it is as long as it's fun. That's a very strange pace car. Did they get some really strange space car that we're seeing there? But okay. Seems to be the pace car, but last week we had a real pace car. Something strange is happening there. Anyway, as far as I remember, it's 2 laps behind the pace car, and then the race starts. Oh, I'm seeing today we're only having 15 drivers on track. That's surprising, as normally we have more than 15 drivers. But today we only have 15 drivers on track. Not a good day for racing for the most of the members of ASRC Indycar, it seems. This is the most messed up pace car I've seen in a long while. And still, it's better than any car that I could paint, so... Ah no, pace car is going into pits. We're starting after 1 lap. Whoa! Some of the drivers were going to the wrong place and kicked rubber cones. And here we go. Green, green, green. Race is on. Whoa, already chaos at the first corner, as was to be expected. I told you, the first corner is really yikes. We have Henk-Jan Stenneker on first, Ricardo Almeida on second, Lee Russell, whoa, dropping down. Vladislav Zenkov on third. So this is Henk-Jan Stenneker, then Ricardo Almeida. Dmitry Mlakar by nearby. Of course, especially at the start, there's gonna be chaos. The moment I don't see anybody DNFing, so that's a good thing. So after the first lap and after a little bit of argy-bargy or chaos even after the first corner, we have Stenneker, Almeida, Mlakar on 1, 2 and 3. Stenneker already getting some air between him and second. Damage is on 100% as far as I remember. So damage is on. Any kisses you have with the opponents can be quite difficult. Yeah. Somebody going into pit, but maybe... Yeah. Ah, Ricardo Almeida is going into pit. Interesting, on the second lap. Also going into pit. Oh, yeeks. It seems that, yeah, damage is on, and many of these drivers have to see to it that they get their damage. So this is the track from the point of view of a driver, and as you can see, it's not easy to find your way. You really have to learn where the points are. So I would have, like, I would find my braking and throttle points, but I would have some difficulties deciding, okay, where are they and so on. It's not as other tracks are. So because of all those pit stops, we are seeing that the second to sixth are really quite near to each other. And of course, and now we have... So, can somebody tell me why the pace car now looks like a pace car and it didn't before that? And why we are not having a full car? Wait, here you go. At the start of the race, that car didn't look like this, didn't I? R Factor 2 surprises me sometime, but... So it seems the pace car is something like 90 to 100 km/h. Was what I was searching. Know at what speed it's set on this track. Even the pace car is a little bit off. Pace car driven this weekend by the main organizer of these races, by Nick Stepanenko. Oh, this is a human-driven pace car. In case you just joined the broadcast, this is the ASRC Indycar series driving on Cleveland. Place where real live Indycar does not drive and never drove. Forming his tires, but the pace car is keeping outside, so we get another lap behind the pace car. Because of the pit stops that they had to do, from the 9th position on until the 16th, 15th, they are all at least one lap down. Nick must have hurt me because he's now driving quite slow. Come on, man! You're cooling the tires of all the drivers. Well, the cars of the drivers, but you know what I mean. Hamilton would be there, he would already be protesting. Oh no, my tires are getting cold. Safety car is too slow. Thinking about it, on turn 1 we got as much a pileup as we got, seems the pace car is going away. Such a pileup as we got on St. Pete today on Real Life IndyCar, didn't we? Yes. Okay, so we are starting the race. Wait, again. And the race has started. Whoa, Steneker going wide, losing first position because of that. Cold tires or cold brakes. Yes, Mlaka uses the opportunity. Zenkov tries to keep second, but Steneker is faster. But these curves and Steneker seems to have be having some issues. To keep position, but get off there. So Zenkov, because of those issues, of Indycar is able to keep second. Of course, Indycar wants to keep first. And meanwhile, Indycar, the leader, is doing the best lap time. Best second sector, therefore best lap time. We have Nakar, Zemkov, Indycar. Interesting how much pace Zemkov is getting. Indycar get his place back. He was the leader, but then had some issues on the first corner after this restart. Eee! Car getting a little bit squirrely there. This is a difficult corner. 45 degrees, you have to brake at the right time, and this corner never stops. We saw Van Leuven doing the best lap time. It seems that it was a normal overtake. I don't get any information here also of any other issues. Indycar and Zemkov does want to get his first position back, of course. Behind these two, there's also some stuff going on. Garcia, Donovan, and Van Leuven. Indycar lose control once again. He's now 1 second away from Zemkov. In any case, Zemkov and Indycar have gotten some pace. And we aren't seeing as many issues as I thought we would be seeing. We are seeing a couple of issues, but we aren't seeing as many as I thought we would be seeing based on the practices that I saw during the week and yesterday and today. Seeing is that Robert Rice and Dmitry Mlakar having heated battle using different racing lines. Interesting. Oh, Blocker is having issues with the car, like it's getting a little bit squirrely, which does not surprise me a bit on this track. And it's interesting, they are having two different racing lines. So we'll have to see which one of those is the better one. For now it's Mlakkar's, but that can change. Starting lap 14. That corner. I think this is the corner in this race where you can win or lose a lot of time. Comerot in pits. Indycar has lost a lot of time to Zenkov and now has not yet a big battle against Van Leuven, but that can change soon. And here we go. I get the impression that Indycar is either the car is not as reliable as he would want it to be, or he's got some confidence issues with the car or with the track. Van Leuven overtook him, but Indycar is fighting, or there's something in the car, maybe the tires, that is not quite as it should be. Ouch! He hit the wall there. That's not gonna be helping either his confidence or the health of the car. Now the battle. That's not Donovan behind him, is it? Indycar has somehow lost speed. Maybe the car? I mean, other than he's now hitting the wall, I haven't seen him getting any issues, but he clearly lost speed there. Maybe now hitting the wall. So he's lost confidence or speed or whatever. Ooh! Somebody having issues at end of the... Oh, but we have some nice battle going here. 9th. I like that you agree with me. Battle for 9th between Russell, Almeida, Ramos, Kowalski and Wang, all one lap down, because they already went into pits like on the second lap. I suppose these were all involved in the pile-up at the start on turn 1. And that's why they are a lap down. But we see, I mean, this track is not as bumpy, this mod is not as bumpy as the real life track, but we see that the cars are a little bit bumpy, a little bit jumping in some places. Of course, does not make it easy to drive. I don't get the feeling that any of the drivers... Thanks, Marty. I don't get the feeling that any of the drivers are getting a rhythm. You see them all, I mean... No, Cleveland is not that difficult to get a rhythm, and there we go. Meda getting the better of Russell, if I see it correct. It's Steneker? Yeah, it's Steneker. So he's really losing pace. Steneker is now 10 seconds away from Van Leuven, who's the leader. But he does not get into pits, so it may not be an issue with the car, just an issue with his driving, sorry to say. He's not a bad driver, I mean, third position. But yeah, thank you, Marty. Yeah, commentating alone is, of course, not as good as commentating with Cody or Ike, but, I mean, those two had more important things to do. The one has to sleep after 12 hours of Bathurst, and the other has to win a series. Let's see how the positions are. We have Van Leuven on first, who's now going to be crossing the start and end line for the 18th lap of 100. Denkov at second. No, that behind him is not the third. The third is Steneker. Here in between the pile of the drivers that are one lap down. Then on fourth we have Adam Donovan. On fifth, Dimitri Mlakar. Interesting to see the different lines that they take, which may be because they are all trying to get that first corner right, and it's difficult. Pablo Lopez Garcia on sixth. Isa Cornos on 7th. One lap down, Lee Russell on 8th. And one lap down, Ricardo Almeida on 9th. Guessed it right, one lap down, Mikel Ramos on 10th. Who is in intense battle with Jakub Kowalski and Yuanyan Wang. That number 16 car that you see on pits is the pace car, so of course it's in pits. Hope it stays in pits a while longer. $80 laps remaining. Best time until now is held by Ricardo Almeida. It was 1 minute 01.679, so a little bit over a minute is what these drivers are doing on race pace. Qualifying pace was round about a minute and change. So not a big difference between qualifying and race pace. That's interesting. Donovan and Mlakar not really having a fight, but getting near to a fight to each other. Change any minute now. Black car Donovan is the hottest fight here. It's getting. And while we are seeing sun and clear skies, let me tell you that the ASRC has a real weather system installed, so if it would be raining in Cleveland, it would be raining here. Yeah, that corner makes or breaks at least half of your race. Bakker getting the better exit, but not making it stick yet. Oh! Bakker going off track and therefore losing 2 positions even. I may have missed a couple of pit stops as Indycar is on 12 and Price is on... Because at the front we have Sandoven, Ladislav Zenkov and Bakker and Donovan. Making the camera dizzy. Let's see how Donovan is living this race. Who's going in? Bakker is going into pits now. Donovan got his position back, but I suppose he's going into pits also. See, that first corner is another. Keep not going straight because all this is a corner. Then you have this, let's call it chicane. You have a little bit of a straight here, a short straight. Then you get a turn left. Right. Not much of a straight because you get a right once again, and you keep because this is 180. Now, already almost at the end, there is a chicane there. You can either go into pits or take the chicane. And if you're racing, you prefer to take the chicane. Go. In. This is the start and end straight, and this is the start and end line. As you can see, it's a fast-paced track with not many opportunities. Take a little bit of breathe. And if you, I'm keeping with Donovan here because you see that in real life it seems that it was more bumpy than this, but still there's some bumps here. But let's go back to some thought I would be able to show you a battle, but there's not a no at the moment, but I'm expecting a moment between Under Van Leuven and Pavzenkov, there's 16 seconds of a gap. This, of course, may very well have to do with them having been into pits or not into pits and so on, so can change. You go. So neither Van Leuven nor Zenkov have done any stops. Donovan. Lopez Garcia, Kormos or Russell. Janovitz is now in pits. If it rhymes, it was not what I was going for. What we're not getting that much this race is penalties. Had many more penalties on Milwaukee. Of course, that may have also to do with the drivers. Oh, Jakub Kowalski DNF'd. Let me find out. These may have to do with the drivers being more accustomed to road tracks than to ovals. Many of them are driving on ovals for the first time. Donovan in pits. He crashed and his engine died. Oh well. It happens, it happens. I'm sorry to hear. It's interesting. At the moment, we have from position 4, all the others, they are all one lap down. Oh, and Steneker DNF'd too. I'm trying to find out what happened to Steneker. Next one going into pits. Oh, he's not going into pits. He just let somebody pass. So we only have 3 drivers on their original lap, which is Van Leuven, Zenkov, Garcia. So Indycar was shown as DNF'd, but now is being shown as back with 3 laps down. Okay. I suppose I'll have to wait a little bit longer to know what happened to Indycar. May have been some connection issues then. Or factor 2, when you disconnect, just gets your car into the garage and you can restart the race. Or continue the race, not restart it. Anyway, Van Leuven, ooh, who we saw a little bit off track. Van Leuven is 20 seconds away from Zenkov. Is 40 seconds, over 40 seconds away from Lopez Garcia. Things are a little bit more heated up between Geza, Cormos, Almeida and Ramos, who are a second away from each other. One mess up on the first corner and bye-bye to your position. This is... There we go. This is the first corner. Almeida has been able to overtake Cormos because he took the first corner better. And Ramos is... Yep, Ramos got the position, or maybe not. Ramos took the position because Cormos did... Yeah, more mess up the first corner. Ooh, Ramos trying to get... That, yeah, that was good. Ramos took the position with a faster car. Seems that the car is faster, not because his racing line is faster. Now we only have 2 cars on the same lap, so to speak, on the original lap, which is Van Leuven and Zenkov. Well, I suppose it's easy to lose a lap when you go into pits, as the laps here are only 1 minute and change. Oop, what happened there? I don't know if I lost. Ah, so it seems it was only me. Was contacted? I don't find it. Very strange. Here's the server again. I don't know what happened there. But we'll be rejoining the race quite soon. Sorry about that, but I don't know why I lost contact to the server. Sorry about that, don't know what happened there. Server was running all the time, but I lost contact to it, which is... Anyway, we got the information from race control then on lap 75. That's a while yet. There will be a full course yellow competition caution to bring all cars nearer to each other. Something that is not done often in Europe, but that is done a lot in the States and in the Americas. A lot of cars going into pits. Leuven and Zenkov have not been into pits even once. That cannot be right because it shows most not being into pits and... Server, go home, you're drunk. So, Marty, you're asking, on fuel alone, how many pits would be expected? As far as I remember, but I would have to ask, and maybe we'll be able to ask Jakob when he comes in. I would expect 2, most 3, but it depends, of course, of what your strategy is. You may want to do 4, but as your car is lighter, and this is quite a speedy track, you then gain more, but it's always a different difficult calculation. How much faster are you with less fuel, but does it pan out? So asking also those in the know in the Discord of the ASRC. See what they answer me. Akar going into pits. As is Van Leuven. His first pit stop, if I have my information right. Dankov also into pits. Now all those drivers who are 1 lap down are gonna be able to get their laps back. Hey, thanks Marty for the $5. Sunday race day, yes. Started seeing a quite boring race in Bahrain. Then something less boring, but I don't know if you want to see many pile-ups in St. Pete. And now an interesting race in Cleveland. Thank you very much for those $5, mate. In case you're wondering, they are already earmarked for better sound for the next Sim Racing Expo. We already know what we're gonna be spending the next money. The moment, I think, with the Patreon money of this month, we will be able to pay off. Hey, Donovan! Losing control of the car. Yeesh. Oh, and again losing control because, of course, tires are cold and all that. He's gonna be losing some positions, and now he does lose position to Lee Russell. So as I was saying, the Patreon money of this month is gonna be invested in a gimbal. Is something that keeps the images of, for example, the Sim Racing Expo stable and makes them very nice. Hey, Racecraft Legends. Or is it you, Jakub? So, I get the information. Yeah, it's Jakob, I see. I get the information from the Discord that 2 pits are the normal on fuel, but the 3 pits are faster. Haha, yeah, that chicane is Jif. And Stenneker again with the DNF. He's having some issues today. What a pity. He's a fast driver, but seems not to be as consistent as he would need to be. so many of the drivers have... give me a sec. We're trying to get Jakob into the commentating booth. Give me a moment.
Hello.
Hi, Jakob. How are you?
Hey, very good, man. Thanks, and you?
Fine, fine. Commentating. But now that you're here, I won't be commentating alone, and it will be more interesting.
I hope. And we still have half of the race in front of us. So, yeah. Could be a competition yellow, though, I think.
There's on lap 75, yes.
Okay, so that's official, yeah?
Yeah.
Good.
The race control said on lap 75 there's going to be a competition yellow. Chat, how is Jakub? Can you hear him well? Is he loud enough? Just let us know in the chat. Hey, just posted.
Yeah, and...
Go ahead.
So, first time I was on the track today, and I thought from the layout, oh, it's easy. Like,
no, it
but
isn't.
then you don't know where to go at all.
Yeah.
And then you find it out. Then it was fun. In the quali, I was, I think, P6. It was a pretty good lap. I was like, yeah, half a second behind the best guys. And then in the race was pretty fun, but the first crash did not help me at all. Yeah.
You were in the pile-up.
It's
you
amazing,
were in the
though.
pile-up on the first turn, on the start.
I just rammed into it. I couldn't avoid it, and I lost my front wing, so I had to pit. And I lost one lap already at the start. But yeah, then the message came: lap cars may now overtake. But I thought I'm not lapped, so only later I realized that. But yeah, anyway. It's really weird to drive on this track. The asphalt, everything feels so low on grip, you know? But
well, it is. I mean, it was in real life. This was an airport in real life, so it was never the tarmac was thought for planes and not for race cars. And of course, you have all the painting also, which they did not take away because you don't do that on an airport, which also does not help with the grip.
Yeah, exactly. So. So they just so that's a Cleveland airport basically, or what? They closed it down for
Cleveland. I mean, it's not been raced since 2006, if I remember. No, 2007. But it is the Burke Lakefront Airport in Cleveland, Ohio.
So they still like used it right after the race, or?
Yeah. So it wasn't. It's a completely normal airport. The airport still exists, and they closed it just for the weekend. And to be precise, Indycar never raced in Cleveland. It was Champ Car. It was car, but Indycar. And especially the IR18 never raced on Cleveland, so this is a never seen combination. And yeah, it is a completely normal airport. They closed it for the weekend. They just gave the drivers some indication through those plastic cones of of where the track is, and they didn't change much because, of course, they cannot.
I have
away
to
the
interrupt
paint.
you
Yeah.
because Russell is on the back on Zenkov right now.
Yep. Perhaps.
I think we should switch. But that's very interesting fact. I never knew that. I thought it's maybe a military airport and it's just closed. But yeah, he has fresher tires. I think Lee is just going for it.
Yeah, at least he's trying.
Oh, he's going for it. Yeah, he's overtaking.
Yeah,
Oh,
not there yet.
They're side by side, you know.
Yeah, but
No,
I think he's. I think he
that's the
got a
wrong
faster
picture, right?
exit.
Yeah, but that's
And
the
there
wrong
you
picture.
go.
Yeah.
He made it
Yeah,
stick.
yeah, here we go. He tries to overtake. Ah, there we are.
So
He's on his left.
keep in mind
Look
that
at
the
this.
picture that you see in the stream is about a second later than the picture that you get if you spectate on R Factor 2 because of some technical thingies with servers and whatnot, which I won't be able to explain you in the right way. So anything that you see on the stream is 1 second away from what you would see if you would be inside of the
Yeah,
server.
it's way more. So it's like 20 seconds, but it doesn't matter. Or 10 at least, I have to say.
Really?
But
Oh.
yeah. I mean, I'm still as a racer. I'm not spectating, so
Okay.
I'm still
all
in
right.
it as a racer. Because I DNF'd and never went out the
Yeah, of
server,
course.
you know. And I just watch Lee because he's on a. Well, he's fast here. He will catch up to Sander soon. And that was
So
a very
what
nice
do we
maneuver,
have?
but Vlad is on very old tires though. So that would be interesting who will win the race, you know? Because we have the three guys on top. Definitely, even Miguel Ramos and Ricardo can do it.
Still almost half of the race to have. Donovan, Ramos, Almeida, and Wang are all on similar positions, especially Donovan and Ramos. Aha! Ramos overtaking Donovan.
Yeah, he's trying to, right? Ramos is a little faster as Donovan though, but Donovan is
Making
very
it
consistent
stick.
driver.
And here comes turn one, which is difficult. Okay, both drivers get it right.
Wait, am I not live or what? I try again. Wait, I restart the stream. Maybe I'm just behind. Something happened there. I will just restart the stream because you said corner one. I was like before the chicane still, you know. So
Oh.
maybe I'm just 10 seconds behind on the stream watching it.
Well, but you're inside of the server, so you should be able to see what I see because I'm also inside of the server.
Okay, but on the server itself, I'm on Lee's camera only, you know. I
you
did not
cannot,
switch around there.
maybe-
I just
maybe-
watched the live stream.
Maybe go out and rejoin the server, but as spectator, because then you can choose different cameras.
I mean, I can choose different cameras right now as well.
Okay, I'm gonna.
That's the problem. But when I click it, it's a triple screen. It will move my window, you know, from the browser.
I'm gonna give you a link through a DM where you can choose different cameras and get some race information from inside of R Factor 2. Let me find it.
So Lee's putting on a clinic as Adam tries to follow Ramos a bit. He's catching Sander. He's only 19 seconds behind Sander now. Or 20, 21, something like that. But he drives the faster laps, he's on the fresher tires. And Sander, everyone has to pit still. So they will try to extend the pit to lap 75, I guess.
Of
But
course.
that will not work.
So I sent you a link. If you open that, you will be able to choose different cameras and choose different drivers for your R Factor 2.
Yeah, I know that, but I
Oh,
have to
okay.
install it first on my F Factor, right? We used it on something, but
You don't need to install it because there is a default inside of rFactor.
Wait, how do I use it then? Through the web page?
Just click on the link, and it should open a control panel. And it may show some overlay on your rFactor 2, which you don't care about. And then you get a nice view of the different drivers and how far away from each other they are, and so on.
Yeah, but how do I use it in game? I mean, is it like I have to join a spectator to do it?
Yes.
Okay, then I do it.
In the meantime, Van Leuven is gone into pits and is still in pits. How long does a pit stop take? Around about 10 to 20 seconds?
So changing the tire takes only 7 or something like that. It's done very fast. If he has repairs, front wing plus 10, but the whole pit lane is very long. Takes a long time, you know.
Oh, and we got who is it? Donovan losing a little bit of control.
Uh-oh.
So all in all, how long do you lose in a short pit stop? 30 to 40 seconds?
Yeah, 30 at least.
So that's half of the track.
But he lost way more. It looks like it counts plus 1 lap somehow. Do you see it? Like wait, is it correct?
So it's the gap.
Sender
What you're
is now
seeing,
1 lap behind. That cannot be, right?
No, yes, it can be, because if you go into pits, as we just heard, as he just told us, you lose at least half a lap. The laps here are very short. They are 1 minute short. So when you go into pits, and let's say you have to repair, like some of you had to change front wing, you can lose easily 1 lap. So yes, it's quite possible that from place 6 and below, the drivers are not on the same lap on the starting lap anymore.
Yeah, okay.
But yeah, there's a little bit of a hodgepodge of different laps. So we have Russell, Zenkov, Ramos, Donovan, and Almeida all on the original lap, so to speak. We have Mlakar and Van Leuven 1 lap down, Wang and Kormos 2 laps down, and then Garcia, Kananovic, and so on, they are plus 4 or even 5 laps down. Yes, that's quite possible. As I said, this is quite, I mean, the fastest lap that we have had on this race, on race pace, was 1 minute, 1 second, and 179 milliseconds. So if you tell me that a normal pit stop takes 30 seconds, that's half a lap already. And if you have to do a little bit more than just change tires, you can easily get a lap down.
So thanks for the page, man. It's really nice.
Yeah, isn't it?
But how do I change the cameras automatically?
So you automatically you don't. You have to choose it by yourself, and you can click on the driver, and then you have an onboard, or you can click on.
There you go.
You have a column with trackside and onboard. And you can click repeatedly on trackside to get different cameras.
Okay.
Like, it's not the best broadcast control system that I've encountered. And not comparable to real life TV. But it's quite okay. It lets you show nice images.
Yeah, that's true. We used that, I think, something similar at least, for my streams in my league back then. Yeah, but we had an automated camera as well. There is a patch that we could just run it without comments, you know, but just to see, for people to see it. That was similar, but I did not use it. It was the guy who was streaming it.
Of course.
But yeah, I know something like that. It's actually pretty nice. Yeah, I like it. It's not perfect though, but at least it gives you an option for air factor 2 a bit.
Yeah.
Which is pretty naked, right? Let's say the least. When it comes to that kind of things.
Yeah, I mean that's one
that
one
will
thing.
change though, right? I think so.
On R Factor 2?
Yeah, they plan to make this whole.
They are
right?
working on that. They are changing stuff. But for now it's quite. I mean this here is not the better version of the overlay. I hope they're working on that. But as we are on lap 60, we have Russell on first, we have Zenkov on second, Ramos on third, Almeida on fourth, and 1 lap down, Mlakar, Donovan, Ruben on eighth. 2 laps down, we have Wang. 2 laps down, Kormos. 4 laps down, Garcia. Those are the first 10 positions. Jan Henrik Steneker DNF'd, and lucky for us in the stream, Kowalski also DNF'd because he has joined us in the commentary booth. Thank you very much for doing that. It's always a pleasure to have somebody in the booth who not only knows the track very well, but has been fighting in the race.
Yeah, thanks for inviting me. For me, good opportunity, because I like these things. I think it gives our league a good chance, you know, to show ourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, and the tracks, the tracks and the races are quite interesting. Maybe if you learn a little bit better to drive on ovals, you all, not only you, but you all, it's gonna be more interesting, because last week race had a little bit too many full course yellows for my liking. I mean, not that in real life.
I was totally mad at this race last week.
Not that in real life there are no full course yellows,
angry,
but
you know?
yeah.
It was a little bit of a shame. But today, you see, today we have a very good grid. It looks like not lots of drivers, sadly, but people behaving, right? We had only this one start crash so far, and people really know what they do today. That's more realistic. On the ovals, we are totally unexperienced. I think only 2-3 people have experience, and everyone thinks with the slipstream you can just go and overtake, but it's way more strategy than that.
Oh yes, tires,
it's a very strategic race at the end. It's not like people think you go full throttle and you have only left turns. Yeah, but then you will die basically if you do that, right?
Absolutely, absolutely. So I'm watching
lots
the times
to learn
that,
there.
Yeah, Russell is on pits. I'm watching the times that he's making. He's already 40 seconds since he went. So now he went out of pits after 42 seconds. That's almost a full lap. I suppose he got some fuel in the car. Because he stood, so like really staying in place for 21 seconds. And we have Zenkov and Ramos.
Fighting for the win, right? For the lead, I mean. Sorry.
Exactly, for the lead, because the win is a little bit
far away.
And Ramos overtook Zenkov.
Yeah, so we have 62% of the race done, right?
And Zenkov is trying to find out where to get back. He's not giving up yet.
So his tires should be gone already.
Well, seems they aren't.
Or was he in the pit later? I mean, Ramos is on the fresh. Zenkov is on a hard tire. There you see it. So he saves everything for his last for safety car. So he went hard to get on the 75 laps. He doesn't care about the pace now. I think is his strategy. Look, he lets people like almost through. It's hard to counter with the hard tire. It's really 1 to 2 seconds slower per lap. It has no grip at all. Everyone hates it, but I think he uses it now for the strategy to make his second stint as long as possible, right? So he can reach the 75 laps.
And then have fresh soft tires and just and Cleveland is a track where you can overtake if you do it right, because it's so broad. It's not easy to overtake because it has almost no straights. It has a couple of short straights, but even the long straight at the end and start of the race is broken down by the chicane. But if you have the better grip, you can choose a different racing line on the corners, and you have place enough in Cleveland.
You have place enough, but you have to hit the apex somehow better, right?
Oh, yeah.
And that's not easy to do, but it's possible very much. So this track you can go possibly 10 wide if you like, right? So
I gather the chance of the thought that it's easier to overtake on Cleveland than it is in Road America.
Possible. Road America is very aerodynamic track, right? So you know you lose something behind. Here you have some stop and goes, which helps. Maybe not too much. You have one really stop. So the best opportunity is the hairpin at the start, at the end here. You can push. We have push to pass in the cars, right? So you can push to pass behind the in the third sector when the straight begins, right? The straight begins. Then you have the chicane. You have to be super good there. That's why I crashed. I wanted to overtake Zankov there, and I crashed. I was just too fast. I had understeer and bang, right? My engine died, nothing I could do. That should be a safety car though, I think. Because I was just standing still in the... But it's okay how it is, I mean...
How many seconds of push to pass do you have?
200 seconds overall. So some people used it at the start, but you need it at the end.
That's like Indycar. I think the Indy also... Well, they have different push to pass depending on the track. And on ovals they don't have push to pass. As far as I know, they have something like I think they have 120 seconds or something like that. So, yeah.
Yeah, for the whole race, right?
Yes, yes, absolutely.
So if you push it too often, people will at the end just overtake you, I guess. Especially with the yellow flag, with a with a
full course
non-natural, with a non-natural, right?
The competition
flag, yeah. Especially with that, right? I think. Yeah.
Almeida in pits.
Almeida in pits. Wow. I go for a cigarette. I'll be right back. So after, we all know everyone wants to get a good position before lap 75. You know.
Yeah,
right now it's very strategic. The fight will begin in 9 laps, I'm pretty sure. And I'll be back in like 3-4 laps though. Oh, wait, the lap is so short. I will be back in 5 laps.
All right. Have a good one. See you soon.
Thank you, mate. Yeah, I need to get a snack and stuff and everything. And I'll be back in 5 minutes when it counts, you know.
All right. It's great when the drivers join us and can tell us a little bit of how it feels for them to be driving. As I said, I was able to test a little bit of Cleveland, but only a little bit. And of course, it's not comparable to somebody like Jakob, who, while he's told us that he was not able to practice during the week, has done practice, qualifying warm-up, and as much of the race as he could until he crashed. So bad luck for him, good luck for us that he crashed, because we can have him on the booth. In the booth. And on Twitch we have 2 new followers, Resourceful Harp and Beaten Clip. Hello, welcome to the family. We are in Cleveland racing Indycars with the ASRC, a community that races R Factor 2 and mostly open wheelers. They just started Formula 1. It's on Saturdays, which is a day that I have blocked for working on the news and going out. I still try to have a little bit of a life. So that's not one that we will be commentating anytime soon. We will be commentating IndyCar until the end of it, which is still a little bit further away. We are today in Cleveland. Next week we are gonna be watching and commentating the race in mid-Ohio, which is a road, then in Watkins Glen, which is a road, and then in the in Motegi, which is an oval. I was gonna say it's the only non-American track, but I think Surfers Paradise is in Australia, right? Correct me if I'm... But as I said, oh, Wang DNF'd. Oh, what happened there? Let me find out. Indycar, from what we gather, crashed because the wall, because he hit the wall, but he was, by his own account, further away from the wall that it should have been, so it seems to be a programming issue with the mod. Meanwhile, Russell is in pits, not waiting for the 75th lap, or not being able to wait for the 75th lap, where we will have a competition yellow. Denkov still holding on and on first position, and as Jakob was telling us, most assuredly keeping his tires as well as he can, hanging on for dear life, so to speak, until the competition yellow comes. Then he's gonna get into pits and get some softs. At least that's what Jakob expects him to do, and I would agree. Of course, as we can see, there are lapped cars behind Zenkov who are faster than him because they are on softs. And Zenkov is not battling too much because he's on a different strategy. Wang is using VR. He got a chat message and he lost his braking point because he tried to read. Yeah, don't message and drive, especially on a race.
Yes. So.
Hey.
I'm back.
We are on lap 72 of 100. In around about 3 laps, we're gonna get a competition yellow, which means that there does not need to be a crash. They just bring the pace car out, as it's called in the States, and who we are following right now is Zenkov, who is on first position, because almost everybody else is has gone into pits. He is hanging on for dear life with hard tires, having some difficulties taking the first corner because those tires must be more dilapidated than whatever else.
Yeah, and they are super hard.
Absolutely.
They are so hard. You can easily like outbrake yourself with the hard tires. You struggle for grip into the corner, especially, and then outside as well. It's just way slower than the soft tire. Oh, I see Donovan. I think he was a little out off track there. He's in a good 5th position, as you may know or not. KMO Racing is also my second team, so Russell and Donovan are my second team, and I'm of course cheering for them because Russell really deserved the win, I have to say. He's on a super pace and I'm cheering for him, and I'm happy to see Donovan on P5 because he usually is not the quickest guy, but he's really competitive as long as the race progresses. So the longer the race, the better the Donovan. And yeah, that's a very strong 5th place for him, I have to say. Also, Ramos making a superb job. We know about Zenkov. He's a ASRC legend already. Van Leuven making a superb job as well. But he struggles a little bit with tires, so he's very fast, but he uses the most tires, I would say, from those guys. And it's very interesting to see what will happen after the caution now. So I think Lee will get to the pit and change, so he will lose maybe some position, but he will have a fresh tire set. And Zenkov, of course, hard to beat, so that will be very, very interesting. Looking forward to it.
Yeah, because Zenkov, of course, is gonna change. I mean, I would be surprised if he does not change into soft tires.
Yeah, he will, definitely. I mean, 100%.
Of course.
So, both will go to pit, definitely. Ramos was in pit. Maybe he goes with the tire, you know? If he doesn't want to lose track position. But yeah. Van Leuven, of course, as well, is right there. I think the cars, they can outlap themselves, right? Donovan in a pit now. I think the yellow is out. Yes, everyone goes to pit now. Yeah.
Russell into pit
caution is out
already.
Yes. So pace car should be on track already, right? Cannot see it really. Oh, there. Yeah. Pace car's on track.
If he's going into pits, what a surprise. And pace car we see there. Ramos positions himself. Oh, not behind the pace car? So he's...
Oh, he cannot do that though. I think
yeah,
he realizes now. He realizes
exactly,
now.
exactly. He just let the pace car in front.
Oh yeah, he did not realize he's first. Yeah, funny. Zenkov still in pits, right?
Yep.
Oh man, that would be amazing. So the white cars are the KMO drivers. The red cars are the Zenkov racers. The black car, what is the black car actually? What is Ramos driving for? I think it's his own team,
Ramos
right?
is Race for Cat Motorsport.
Oh yeah.
And
Van Leuven for
Zenkov
SVL.
left pits already.
Copy that.
In the tower,
Yeah,
you will
so
see
they will
him
be
as
close.
first, but it's still away. And the pace car, by the way, is driven by a real life person.
Oh yes, that's a nice thing about our league, that we have a pace car driver. Not for the oval events, but for the road events, of course, and especially for the F1 events. that we will host soon. But for now, we have the Indycar series. Pretty exciting.
I thought Formula One already started. Didn't it start yesterday?
Yes, the real F1, but
no. I mean yours.
So our patch is out. Our 2023 car is there. We will still update it after some races
So
in real life.
I may
but
have seen
our league starts end of March, definitely.
So I may have seen the announcement for test.
Oh yeah, there's a
races.
hot lap. Oh yeah, that's true. So you can get a seat. So there's 14 seats. So there's 28 seats available. You have the 10 original cars, and you have 4 classic cars, I think, or 3 at least. So there's like 13, 14 spots already taken by guys from last season and people who are good in the standings all time and stuff like that. People who we know and who belong to the season. And there's half of the field still. You can still get a seat if you like to join us. But you must do a hot lap competition, which started yesterday, I think. Yes, or today. Maybe
yesterday. It's Saturdays. Well,
so
no, the competition. Yes, it started yesterday.
So it's 3 days. You can put in a hot lap, and that will guarantee you a seat.
And
if you just go in, put in a lap on the server, and you don't have nothing to do with our server, then of course we will not count that in. But the best 14 guys will have can pick, right?
And you can see that the pace car is driven by a real life person because it just went a little bit off track.
Yes.
What we're seeing also now is that the lapped cars are all being allowed to unlap themselves. So they're gonna get into the thing quite soon.
Russell lost so much time, right? He was a long time in pit, I must say, I think.
And still he has the fastest lap of the race. Whoa! What the heck? It's difficult. It's difficult to find your way in this track, as the pace car just showed, because it went straight where it should have taken the corner.
Yes, it's so. I mean, as a pace car driver, he has to really focus on the driving and, of course, to hold the field together. So he went wrong.
And Ramos almost went wrong too, because he was following the pace car. I mean.
So he goes wrong. He wants the guys to lap. He wants to have be on the left side of the track. Now he wants to be centered. I don't know why he's right, but anyway. So the left cars can overtake on the right. So, and I think he lost the corner there, and it's really hard. You see the cones. The graphics are not the best on this track. Let's say that like that.
Oh, really?
And it's really hard. Yeah, it's really hard. Look on the right side, people coming now. They are allowed to go right. Yeah, and you see the cones pretty late, I have to say.
Okay. Mm-hmm.
The orange cones, you see them pretty late. Yeah, that's could be better, but it's an all track. Nice that we try it. I love such things, the street courses or airplane tracks. I mean, it's pretty much ridiculous with that much power in the car, but it's so much fun. Yeah. You can easily spin.
I mean, the precursors of Indycar raced here, so
yeah,
it's being used for open wheelers, for American open wheelers. So, but yeah, because a kart was open wheeler, and if I remember correctly, Champ Car was also open wheeler. If somebody on the stream knows differently, please let me know. While I try to be perfect and have all the information, I don't. But as far as I know, both were open wheeler.
Formula 3, I think, as well.
Okay.
Something like Formula 3 maybe they did there, because Lee said something like that. He drove Automobilista, so he knows the track from Automobilista already.
Mm-hmm.
It's his first time on F Factor, but he does a great job. For me, it was first time at all, but he said, "Oh, I know this track from Automobilista too." Yeah, and he said I drove Formula 3 there, and maybe it's realistic that they
No,
did some Formula 3 events there.
I'm looking at the Wikipedia page and it doesn't say anything about Formula 3. It says something about kart and Champ Car, but nothing about Formula 3.
What does the Indy and Champ Car have for lower leagues, though? They should have something.
So I see something
like
about
Q,
a
right?
Formula Lightning that I've never known. It was an electric type of single-seat open-wheel Formula racing. Rather unknown to the public. Yeah, not even me.
Rather
who is a
unknown
motorsport
because
freak.
of the e-motor.
Yeah.
Sorry for that. But
Yeah,
yeah,
but the Formula E has very interesting races.
it gets better. Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's the future, but you cannot count the fuel out completely. I think it should. I think the hybrid is a good direction, you know, and it shouldn't be only electric. I don't know.
So I don't.
Lots of people don't have electricity, and you know.
I don't care
But yeah,
what the cars drive on. I just care about if the races are interesting. Like
Yeah,
Formula
that's
One.
good.
Formula One started very boring today with a race in Bahrain.
I wasn't there.
And Formula E has been an interesting series. They are on the third race or something like that. No, second race, if I remember correctly. And the races on Formula E are very interesting. It's all city tracks.
Yeah, that's what I don't like really. That it's only city tracks, but the city tracks are good though.
Yeah.
There's lots of action.
Exactly, and that's what I like. If I watch racing, I want a lot of action. If I'm racing myself, no, I want to be first and all the others 20 seconds away, which is something that I'll never be able to do because I'm crap at racing.
Yeah, but they are crashing each other's, man. Everywhere though.
Yeah, but you know, the cars are not so fickle as in Formula 1 or Indycar. Like when they kiss each other, it's
like a go-kart on steroids, right?
Well, it's like DTM was. Like DTM was a contact sport. It was always called a contact sport.
Oh, is it really in Formula E? Because you say in Formula sports throughout it's a non-contact sport generally, right?
Yeah, exactly. But in Formula E, like it's not that contact is wished for, but if there is contact between the cars, it does not have to end the race.
Okay, so they are more stable.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
a little bit like touring at Formula 1.
We are on lap 78 of 100. I don't know how long the pace car wants to stay in front. It's gonna be staying at least one lap more.
So, does the safety car have lights? No, right? It doesn't have lights. It should have like fancy lights, and he should be able to put them on and off, like in real world.
No, not. I mean, Nick has already enough problems keeping the car on track. Don't make him fiddle with the lights. He's gonna kick me for that comment.
He will laugh a bit and then kick you. Oh man. So the hot face now. 20 laps of thunder. I think he will come in now, right? I mean, that's okay.
There's still a couple of cars that are a lap down, so I think they are letting all the cars that were even 4 laps down or so on come back into the lap and fight. One thing that is also important is that all these cars will have cold tire. We saw it at the beginning of the last restart, how Indycar completely lost the curve. So that's something that may very well happen to these guys if they don't take care. What the heck is Nick doing there?
And frosty, you have to imagine, it's not only the tires, it's
Yeah, the
no,
brakes.
sorry. It's the brakes as well.
Yeah.
And yeah, it's really so the tire itself needs like a full lap at least to get on some temperature, you know. The brakes I think need even more, because you always, I mean, you only use them twice really.
And
Yeah.
the thing is, you cannot use the trick that you can use, for example, in Assetto Corsa Competizione, that you brake and that you speed up and brake and keep on the throttle while you brake, so that you can warm up the brakes and the tires because of that. So that's something that R Factor 2 does not have, and it's great
So
from
that's
Assetto
more
Corsa
realistic,
Competizione. Competizione, yes.
No, but is it in real life that the
Yes.
tire heats up?
Yes,
okay.
the drivers in real life, at least the GT3. I don't know if the open wheel drivers do that, but in GT3 it's something that you do on your first lap, which is behind the safety car. You go hard on the brakes and on the throttle, so that the like not so hard on the brakes that you block.
I mean, I do that on Air Factor, right? To warm my brakes up.
Does it work? For the
Yes,
brakes,
but
you
not
cannot
for the
warm
tire.
up. Exactly, you cannot
No,
warm up the tire.
You can flat spot it.
Yeah, that's not
If
that's
you
not
don't-
what you want.
right?
Yeah.
If you do it too hard, but otherwise the tire will not. It will not affect the tire. But of course, in real life, at the end, it should affect the tire as well.
Of course, because the heat from the brakes
On the brakes
disperses
itself. Yeah.
outside, and some of it goes into the tire. So it's what GT3 drivers in different series do. I know for sure.
Yeah, so I
that
guess
the
Air
SRO
Factor
does
needs an
it.
update on the tires then.
Well, our factor needs a couple of updates, and on the tires maybe also. Yes. So we
That's so
are
true.
on lap 80 from 100.
But it feels amazing to drive it. So.
Oh yeah, I mean,
Go on.
R Factor 2 is a great sim. I mean,
You can drive door to door, you know. It's I never experienced it at any other. Assetto Corsa, ACC maybe, AMS maybe, but iRacing not. I have to say, really not. So
I'm very agnostic. I love to drive them all. iRacing less. They all have good points and bad points, and it's at the end of the day, it's just a question of taste. Do you like the good points of R Factor more than the good points of Automobilista 2? Do you like the good points of Assetto Corsa Competizione more than those of iRacing or whatever? So it's at the end, it's a question of taste and what you like to drive more. So, is the pace car going away now?
Still one more lap? Come on.
I don't know.
So 20 laps, right? They should give us 20 laps of thunder here. Come on, guys.
If he goes away
Now
now,
it's time.
It looks...
Still people overtaking. I mean, how many laps is someone behind then? Let me check.
So we
Hector-
are on
Hector's
lap
still 2 laps
81 behind the...
Now it should go. Come on.
I would say whoever has not been able to unlap, tough luck, you should have not lost so many laps.
Exactly. Now go. Still one lap, right?
It seems so. And I say that as somebody who would be on plus 15 laps or something like that, because as I said, I'm crap driving, so...
I think that's now 1-2 laps too much, but too many. But yeah, it should come in now. So
well, now it just started the lap, so now it's gonna take a little bit.
So now in this lap, I mean now it's really. I mean, Hector's still lapping. I mean, Hector lost so many laps. I mean, come on. Yeah, but that's something that I never understood, what they do in US racing. If the race was green, they will put in a competition yellow. Somehow I'm not a fan of it. I mean, it's okay, it belongs to the rules, and I'm not the one deciding it. but somehow, yeah, it makes it. Yeah, the natural race is like gone, right? You really make it artificial a bit more. But
Well,
the
I do
the
like.
yellow laps, these
I mean,
yellows. I'm as a European, like I don't like these yellows all the
yeah,
time, right? You know
I
what I mean?
understand.
That's like something I really have to learn from this cup. It's my first time I really do that, Indy stuff. So Hector still has one lap to go.
Yeah. On the other hand, come on, man.
Yeah, now it's time to go. It really is. I mean, have to tell Nick that maybe after the
Well,
race. Of
I
course.
don't
I will
think he's
not
gonna be
interrupt him
reading
though.
any kind of chat. So
No, not now, not now. But in future, that's just too long. I mean, okay, 5, 6 laps, right? I mean the lap. Okay, let me say the lap is short. All right.
yeah, still.
So then it's like 2 laps of Spa, right? What we did. We have 6 laps on Cleveland. It's like 2 laps on Spa, right? Oh no, maybe. Wait, Cleveland is pretty long actually.
Well, no, because
3.4
oh,
kilometers. Oh, that's. Come on, we have to go now. Oh, he's still.
it's yeah,
So we have one
it's
more lap, and
two
then
point
okay, they wait for Hector. Then sorry.
2.1 miles, 3 kilometers. But as it's driven so fast, it's only 1 minute around the track.
Yeah, it's pretty fast track then. 1 minute for 3.4 kilometers. I mean,
Yeah.
that's impressive. There must be an airfield or something, right? But everyone should be on the same tire. Alternates on Ramos, alternates on Almeida, alternates on Zenkov, alternates on Russell. Yeah, totally. Everyone is on the soft. Everyone has as low fuel as possible to the end, and it will be a big sprint, like a 20-minute sprint to the end. So then I like the idea of these yellows, right? You create like a sprint race at the end, everyone who survived. Then you can really go for it. And the Indy race is a long race, right? It's a long, long time. Hector should drive faster now. Yeah, he's on the same lap now. Come on, we should go now.
I hope very much.
I think we will have green now. Come on, guys. I'm pretty sure, to be honest with you. Okay, Ramos P1. Almeida
Yeah, it seems
P2.
very much so. Yeah.
Zenkov P3. Russell
Oh.
P4. Everyone. Donovan even. Everyone has a chance now.
Oh, come on,
No.
Nick. No,
Oh,
he's
wow,
staying
why?
out.
Oh. What? Oh no. Ah, okay, but yeah. All cars carefully. He wants Hector to be on the grid. Yeah, of course, of course. I mean,
Yeah, but-
okay. Of course. No, yeah, I know. But his decision is to let Hector be on the rear, you know, of the grid. In
Yeah,
the same lap.
still. I mean,
Robert is
If-
out of fuel.
who?
Robert is like out of fuel. I see it in the chat.
Oh, great. Why didn't he go? Why didn't he go into pits? If
Probably.
if there's an
That's funny,
opportunity
right?
to refuel is on the competition yellow.
So that's funny, Robert. I mean, wow. I think that's a big error. He will finish P12 anyway, then. Okay, we will go green now. It's official. It's written in the chat.
So he will be 12 because there's only 13 cars driving, and when he stops driving because he's out of fuel, he will be the.
Oh, it's only 12. Okay, yeah, I see.
All the others DNF'd.
Yes.
You had a low turnout today. Normally you have more than 15 cars.
That's correct, but it was on the ovals. Especially.
So on ovals you have more.
Well. This
okay.
time was very low attendance, yeah, I have to say.
All right, pace car is going into pits.
Let's
We're
go.
gonna have a start of the race. As soon as the first car goes over the start and end line. Ramos, Almeida, Zenkov are on first, second and third, but that can change very soon because of cold brakes, cold tires, and a turn one that is very difficult. And we have restarted, green.
Zenda already going on Lee.
And Ramos,
He's very
Almeida,
wide at the corner one. He's on the outside. I just see it now. So there was a big fight for P4 already. It looks like Lee lost it. He's on P5 now. So Zenda's going super strong. He overtook Lee already.
So Ramos, Almeida, Zenkov. Zenkov lost the first position. Ah no, he wasn't on first.
No, he was on third. So only position change was from the top 5, Russell and Van Leuven. Very
Ramos
interesting.
is already
Van
getting
Leuven
a
is
little
strong.
bit of air between him and Almeida. Not very much. Half a second, but still. Going hard over that
So
chicane.
Zenkov looks slow right now.
Yes, he loses. No, he almost lost the position on turn 1. That's an opportunity for Russell to regain his position. Is he gonna make it?
Oh, Van Leuven though. Van Leuven overtook Zenkov.
Yeah.
Now Lee's on the back of Zenkov.
We were expecting Zenkov to be able to do something with his soft tires, but it seems that
No, he struggled for pace all day, I have to say.
Okay. So that's why he chose that that strategy, maybe.
Yeah. And now he blocked Lee very good. He has no problems to hold.
Ooh, 3
guy
wide
behind
into
him.
the chicane is not something that you want to do.
Woo!
Russell,
That was
Laka,
close.
Yeah.
Oh, Donovan almost spun out. So Mlaka trying to go for Russell, but Russell was caught up a bit by Zenkov at the end.
Yeah.
I think has at the end the stronger pace. And Mlaka had a good chance to overtake Lee now, but yeah, that was close to a big incident. But yeah, people know what they do here. On this track, with these drivers, you see. Good racing.
Oh, Ramos, Almeida are still near enough to each other. Almeida only half a second away from Ramos. And we have 14 laps to go. On Cleveland, on Indycar IR $18, so the modern Indycar cars.
Exactly, the ASRC Indycar 2023 Championship. The Winter Cup, let's call it. The big Winter Cup. So, we see Almeida on the tail of Ramos, and Van Leuven on the tail of Almeida, though. I mean, Van Leuven will not hesitate.
He's trying to get him. That's a nice fight. Both drivers leaving each other enough space, and Van Leuven overtook Almeida, but Almeida is not relenting. He wants to get that position back. Of course he does.
But Van Leeuwen has a strong pace, especially on the soft
Yeah.
tires. He showed all race long. And I think Almeida is a little bit... I mean, Almeida was super quick in the quali, but I didn't see him in the race as super strong today.
And that, of course,
Usually
has helped
is, but not today.
Ramos. That, of course, has helped Ramos, who is about 1.5 seconds off already. Doesn't mean much, especially on this track with these curves, but Ramos is having a very nice racing line. So, let's see. Leuven... Racing line by Leuven. It's very interesting because this track is so broad. It's interesting to see the different racing lines that the drivers are taking. Some go go close to the apex, some far away to the apex to get more slingshot, so to speak. So quite interesting. While we are watching that, Zenkov and Russell are very near to each
They're
other.
fighting hard now. Yes. That's like it looks like a big battle now for P4. Zenkov still has lots of push to pass, it looks like. He comes close to Almeida even. So both come closer to Almeida, it looks like. And Lee is now on the tail. So he's going on the left.
Yeah, but now we have
Oh,
the
and
first
Zekov
corner.
still
So...
has... Look at this. Zekov still has the power on the straight.
Yeah.
And he cuts him off a bit. Ah, Lee's still inside. Oh, good matchup we see here. Oh yes, it could be. Oh no, and Zekov still in front. Unbelievable. How could Zekov manage that?
Because he's using a very defensive line. We are on board for the stream. We are on board with Russell, and you see that Zenkov is really trying to make his car as broad as he can, which is not saying much in Cleveland, but still.
Yeah.
Russell cutting
I
the
agree.
corners as much as he can. Ooh, Zenkov came very near to the
Now he's close
tires.
again.
And
So he gives him the outer line, right?
yes.
Breaking point. Oh. No,
Thank-
not now. Not
Yeah,
today.
Russell thought better than going too wide into the chicane. Like,
Yeah,
to
it was
finish
too
first, you have to finish
expensive.
first.
Yeah, that would have been too expensive, you know.
Yep. Yep. You don't want to do that.
But at the end, I mean, at the front, you see Ramos and Leuven going for a fight, almost. So Leuven almost there for P1. Doing all he can. Russell, by the way, P2 in the championship, I think. With Staneka out, he could be P1. But he has to have more than P5 for this, I think. At
So
least he
Russell,
has to-
yes, Russell is before the race on P2. Absolutely. I just took a look at the standings.
Yeah, so Russell, I think, will be P1. It maybe Ramos or Almeida get more points though, but it looks for me. If he overtakes Zenkov, then for sure he could lead the championship after that. Because Staneka had a bad race. He finished 14th. He will get points for this.
And
not many.
Russell trying to get on the inside line, but not making it.
Oh,
Whoops.
someone spun.
Yeah, I think it was Almeida.
Oh, Almeida. Almeida almost spun. He has a half spin. He is on the grass still. He
Yeah.
comes back and he's on P6 now. Donovan behind Almeida now. So that's the fight for the last podium. Russell and Zekov are fighting for P3 right now.
2, to be precise.
Zekov holding Lee up, of course, a bit.
And Russell had a moment there. I'm keeping on the onboard of Russell
man,
because
that's
that gives
amazing.
us the nearest driving.
That's Indycar racing right here.
And Leuven
so
is on
Zekov-
first 3 seconds away, and Zenkov and Russell are trying to get
what
the
happened?
second.
Someone crashed then. Wait. Hang on. What happened with Ramos? Ramos is DNF'd.
Oops! Russell got a little bit on the back of Zenkov. Ramos has
Ramos
DNF'd.
DNF'd.
Ah,
What happened there?
yikes.
Maybe a disconnect or what? So Sander is now out there for winning it all. And Zenkov and Lee are like fighting hard for P2 because I don't think anyone will catch Van Leuven. Only Van Leuven can catch Van Leuven right now.
Yeah.
You know?
And Mlaka, who is on fourth, is 3 seconds away from Russell and Zenkov, who we are following in their battle.
Oh yeah, so he can
very hard into the corners, both of them.
Yes. But we run it on R Factor 2 as long as we don't have special rules. What the game gives you, right?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
So if it doesn't penalize you, then it doesn't penalize you. Sometimes you have special rules. The admins will look for that though. Then, but on this track, it's all open. Besides the pit exit, they are fighting hard, man. Lee on left, on right, tries everything.
Yeah.
Zenkov does a great job on defending, and has, as it seems, all the power at the end on his hybrid motor, on his push to pass button. If you just defend that, and really nice fight we're seeing here from two champions, I have to say. Really, they are people, not only fast drivers, but they are champions. They can score a podium every single race.
Zenkov had a moment there. And Russell was trying to get ahead of him, but he won't be yet. So we're keeping with these two because that's where the fight is. The other positions are not as contended as this here, and we're talking about second place and quite the winning position of the. Oh, Zenkov loses control and Russell can take his position.
Oh no, Zenkov lost the front wing, I think. That could be the end of his. It looked like he lost something though.
No. At least not
Well, let
not
me
on
see
the
in
images
I
that
can
I
see
see.
it in a live stream again. Wow, that was incredible actually. Never thought that could happen. I mean, Zenkov usually don't loses his points. Yeah, he did it on his own. He spun.
Yeah,
oh yeah,
absolutely.
okay. He did not touch anything. Okay, now I see correctly. Okay, so Zenkov still can hold the P3, I think. But now Lee is going hard on Leuven, only 2 seconds. It looks like Van Leuven has some problems, to be honest with you. He loses time and time. 1.7, 1.8, what is that? 1.6. Why is Van Leuven so slow compared to Russell, you know? What is happening? I mean, it's the last 5 laps and we have... Look, he's almost on the tail of Van Leuven. Do you see that?
Yeah,
And
Russell,
Zenkov and Almeida are fighting.
let's not forget that Russell just did the fastest lap of the race.
He's totally focused, it seems. So he wants to win. So he wants Van Leuven to really, like, he gives 100% right now. Look, Van Leuven almost... Oh, man, I don't know if it's over. I really thought Van Leuven can hold it, but look at Lee's pace right now. That's pretty insane.
So from 3 seconds that Van Leuven was already away from Russell, it's now down to 1 second.
And you know
5
why?
laps to go.
I think Van Leuven was earlier for the softs as well. So it could be that he reaches the level where the tire gets like half a second slower per lap. So do you see that? 5 laps to go. Oh, what an amazing race we see. Zenkov still has to fight for P3 with Almeida and Mlaka still there. So we have a fight for... And that's all the fights, actually. Donovan, oh, look at this. Donovan DNF'd as well.
Oh!
We have only 10 people on the track. Yeah, something must have happened there. But still, it's a good result for him, finishing almost top 10, 11. That's a lot of points for the KMO Racing team, and if Lee can win it, that would be a lot. Of course, would be nice for SFL, SVL Racing, for Van Leuven to win it, because they don't have a win this season, I think. And
Russell
I think
is
for both
already
teams
on
could
his
be
tail.
the first win.
Russell
He is.
4
and it's
laps
4
to
minutes.
go, and he's already on his tail.
That's exciting, man. I cannot hold back. Van Leuven looks slow compared to Russell. I have to say. And if Russell still has some push to pass, it's maybe now the opportunity to overtake him. He gave him the wink.
Yeah, he's trying to find a way to overtake.
3 laps to go. We have Van Leuven against Russell. We have Netherlands against England. We have two true fighters. One is very young, the other is very experienced and almost 40 or maybe 40. So Russell,
Ooh,
look
Russell,
at this! Oh,
ooh.
big slide right there.
Yeah.
Ah, amazing, amazing race we see. Who will win that? It can
Really
only be
trying
one.
to find place. Seems to
And
have
still 3
waken
laps
up.
to go.
Oh, Russell
Oh,
has
oh,
more
oh, oh.
pace, more pace.
Van Nuven now lost it. He lost it. Oh,
Yeah, but we're
he has
going
no
into the
front.
chicane, so who's gonna be playing chicken? Yeah, Van Leuven.
Yes!
Van Leuven
Look
said,
at this, what a maneuver.
Yeah, Van Leuven said, I prefer to end up second than to end up in the wall, so
Exactly, so he has no front tires left, I'm pretty sure. But I'm a little confused because Lee had a big fight with Zenkov and did not lose the tires. Why is Van Leuven losing the tires already? Because we know he can go the same pace as Russell, right? Maybe he finds his rhythm now behind Russell, but it looks like Russell could fight him down a bit. What do we see on P3 though?
So Van Leuven is already Russell is already a second away from Van Leuven.
Yeah, now he moves. Yeah, that's true. In the sector 2 he moves. Yeah. Wow, that's interesting turn of events. Like Leuven almost leading every lap, but Lee coming in to the pit pretty early, getting rid of the hard tires. I was still on the team mic there. We managed to have one lap on the green on hard tires, right?
And
then we switched to the softs pretty early.
Oh, Van Leuven got a penalty.
Oh, for what? Let me see. What happened?
Track limits.
Track limits. Look at that. That could give Zenkov the P2 there, right there.
Yeah, because a penalty means drive-through, right?
And that means plus 20 or 25 on Air Factor 2.
And Zenkov is 9 seconds away from Van Leuven, so that's
Van Leuven will be P8.
the second.
Everyone will go up. Van Leuven will lose. Will be on P7 or 8 with a penalty. Yeah. What a shame. He did such an amazing race. But after all this, we have 1 lap to go.
Oh, Almeida went a little bit off track.
I think Lee has no tires left as well now. I mean, I think he gave it all. I think his tires should be gone. So if he does one mistake, and right, he can lose it still. And I don't think Van Leuven can overtake him. But at the end, on the paper, Van Leuven loses 20 to 30 seconds anyway on the result. So it looks like Lee is the clear winner now.
We are on the last lap of the race. Russell on first. Van Leuven on second, but he's gonna be losing that second because of a penalty. Zenkov will very much become the second positioned driver. And Almeida, if he keeps on track, because he just now got off track, is gonna be third, and Lacker is gonna be fourth.
And I'm sorry, but I go to my team channel right now, and I come back later maybe, right?
No worries.
So thanks for everything, man. We can do that more often if I DNF.
Thanks for being here. And
thank you, man.
Russell, the race has finished. See you later, Jakob. Russell wins the race, Zenkov second, Almeida third, Mlaker fourth, and Garcia fifth. What a finish of this race in Cleveland on the ASRC Indycar. What a finish! That was unexpected. Van Leuven got disqualified, at least with regards to R Factor 2, but that doesn't mean much. Suppose Russell is gonna do some donuts? No, doesn't look like it. In any case, what a finish! Russell keeping a good pace on the last laps and finishing first without no issues. Unluckily. had Van Leuven all the time fighting, and he was in second position, but he went too often off track, so he got a penalty for track limits. Russell, Zenkov, Almeida are first, second, and third are our podium for today. This has been Rom. Thank you very much for being here and for watching the race with us. Until next time, save fuel, collect pickup, and we'll see each other on the podium.